Hey guys, do you struggle getting your barrel clean? Do you not have a great process? Let me show you mine. I got my 2247 here. It has about 100 rounds on it. I cleaned after 50 rounds. I'm gonna clean again at 100. So let me just show you guys how I like to get my barrels clean. First, we'll talk about the items I like to use. Number one item, Pro Shot gear. Maybe not Pro Shot gear, but it's the Pro Shot cleaning rods. These are the micro polished. These do not have any coating on them, so it will not pick up any gunk or debris. And also has the rotating handle back here, so when you push through, it could follow the rifling and not unscrew your jag or brush, whatever you're running on there. I'm also running their bore guide. Bore shot or Pro Shot bore guide. You can see this one's kind of buggered up. I've beat it up a little bit, had it around for a while. And then I also have a pistol, Pro Shot pistol cleaning rod, and I use this to get my action, the back and the action clean and around the lugs and that. Next items that I like to use, Wipeout Patch Out. These are my favorite brand solvents for cleaning your barrel. The solvent plus the accelerator makes it work a little bit faster. These do not have any harsh chemical smell like you do with the Montana Extreme products or some of the others out there that make you feel like you need to wear a gas mask. But these are a solvent for both copper and carbon, so it removes everything and it will not etch the barrel. You can leave it in there indefinitely. Some guys will plug the end with an earplug and just fill their barrel up and let it soak. I don't do that, but this is a really good product. I've also got a bronze brush. I do not have a brand new one, but I normally try and only use a bronze brush for one or two cleanings. This one's got a couple on it already. I just don't have any other 223 bronze brushes, so we're going to use that one today. And then patches. You're gonna have to, it's a guess and check game on patches, on getting the right size, but I'm going to show you guys a trick here in a little bit on making your patch fit correctly in the bore, if it's too tight or too loose. So I've got two different size patches for the bore, and then I've got some 12 gauge shotgun patches, and this is what I like to use combined with a nylon brush on my pistol cleaning rod to clean out the action and lug area in that. So first thing that we're going to do here, we're going to unscrew this suppressor. And one thing that you guys will notice is I never plan on shooting this rifle without a suppressor on it, and so I did not worry about timing my muzzle brake. You can see that thing's just turned tight to the shoulder and tightened up. So you want to get rid of that, and then we want to pull our cheek piece and then our bolt. And I'll show you guys what I do with my bolt a little bit later. We're going to set that guy aside. We're going to grab our bore guide, slide it into the back, tighten that thing up. The goal with the bore guide is mostly just to keep solvent and anything from getting into the trigger. It's one of the downfalls of a Remington 700 base custom action is the triggers are normally the failure point. You want to keep as much junk out of there, whether it's oil, the solvent, or any just debris out of there. So I have my, again, Pro Shot micro polish stainless cleaning rod with a 22 cal jag on the end there. And what I'm going to do, here's the trick. I'm just going to show you guys. We're going to figure out, I haven't cleaned this barrel but one time, and so I don't know exactly what fits best with it. But what I do here, you start out on the corner. Okay, you don't start right in the middle. You push it to the corner, and then that's going to make it fit quite a bit looser the first time through. And the goal is just to figure out, like we'll start loose and then we'll adjust the fit to get it tighter and tighter. But what we want to do is just get some of the fluid in there, or the Wipeout Patch Out, whatever it is, the solvent, through the barrel to get onto the carbon and the copper. You can see that it's a little bit dirty. So that one fit pretty tight the first time, but again, it was dry. I bet that if I go through a second time, set at the same place, it's probably going to be slightly looser. But let's see what happens. I'm going to put it about the same place, out towards the corner, not in the middle. We're going to go, I think they want like 4 to 1, 4 drops of the Wipeout Patch Out, and then to 1 drop of accelerator. The accelerator just kind of helps it work a little bit faster. Yeah, you can see that second time, it flew through pretty buttery. And what my goal is here, the solvent will do the job for you if you're patient and want it to just sit. But like most things, I'm not very patient, and I like to get maybe 3 patches through, and that just gets everything lubricated up good. I'm going to move it a little bit closer towards center there. You can see it's a little bit closer towards center. This is just going to take up a little bit more space inside the barrel. Again, if it's too tight, then move it out towards the corner. If it's too loose, then move it towards the center. But this one, I'm just trying to really distribute that fluid through there. You can see how much pressure I'm putting on. Man, that thing's already about clean. It's just pretty wild. This proof barrel cleaned up really good the first time, and it looks like it's cleaning up really good this time. But I'm gonna go through the full process just in case there's any copper inside of there. What I like to use is a bronze brush. Once I've got plenty of fluid kind of distributed throughout the barrel on anything that may be inside there, I take a bronze brush, and the goal with this is that the bronze brush is just agitating or moving away the copper or the carbon that has been dissolved by the patch out, and this just kind of moves things around so we can get to the next layer. But this is just a step that I always do. I always coat the brush. Let's see how this goes through there. Oh yeah, perfect. So I normally do 20 strokes each way. Okay. Again, that's just to agitate and move away whatever the solvent has done its job on, so that the solvent can get to the next layer underneath. I've got a suspicion that this barrel is going to clean up very fast, just based off those first 3 patches and the first time that I cleaned this at 50 rounds. So here, I just like some lubricant. Like, I've done a lot of dumb things, and I've added a match. I stuck a dry patch in, just not thinking, between day 1 and day 2, and it fully got stuck in there, and all my friends watched me hammer my cleaning rod back out of my barrel. Done lots of silly stuff, and that's how I know what not to do nowadays. But you can see that's cleaning up pretty quick. There's not a lot on the remnants of it, and sometimes when you're using an old cleaning or a brush, it might deceive you a little bit, because there could be some carbon or copper on it from the last cleaning. So we're gonna just check this. We're gonna do another one through here. My Jag is like forcing its way through these patches. I think I must have dropped it on the ground. It's one of the downfalls of working over concrete. Okay. Oh yeah, that's cleaning up quick. There's not much going on there. You could probably see that patch there. There's a little bit of blue, a hint of blue, but a lot of times that could be from the bronze Jag or the bronze brush. But that is looking super clean. So at this point, I feel really good about that barrel. Like, I'm not gonna do a bunch more effort. But if you guys do one pass of this cycle that I just told you, and you're still pretty dirty in there, then what I would recommend is just doing another 20 strokes with your bronze brush, and man, it cleans up really quick. You see I'm just picking up some remnants of fluid, but there's no black on there at all. So carbon's gone. There's a possibility there's some copper in there, but I would highly doubt it. It's the blue that we're seeing is probably from the bronze brush and the Jag. So that barrel is extremely not prone to fouling. I've been really happy with this barrel so far. But again, that's my cleaning process for the barrel. At this point, I will pull the bore guide out, and that's when I go to my little pistol cleaning rod. And this is I think it's a 20 cal or maybe it's a 45 cal nylon brush. And what I use this for, I grab my 12 gauge shotgun patch. You can see a nice square there. And what I do, I lay it over the top, and then I fold it and just kind of wrap it there. And this lets me get in and I hit the races, get the races all clean to start with. Okay. I don't drag this over the top of the sear of my trigger. I try and keep away from there. You can see just the gunk that ends up inside of the action area. So I start there, and then once I get those races, I grab a fresh one, wrap it back around my nylon brush, and then I'm into the chamber now. And I'm trying to pick up any oil or debris or anything like that, any of the solvent. My wipeout patch out, you see there's a little bit of gunk there, not bad. That's not terribly dirty. But then I'll do it again. And at this third one, I'm gonna try and just hit the lug area and see if I'll spin it a bit and see if there's any gunk that I could get out of that lug area. I do grease the back of my lugs on my bolt, and so sometimes that stuff will distribute itself around. So I'll make sure that I'm picking up any extra there, and it's not too bad. You can see a couple little spots there, but I don't feel bad about that. Again, that's not that many rounds. 50 rounds isn't that bad on a round, or that many to cause a lot of dirt. Some rifles, if your chamber's not super tight around your brass, sometimes it'll throw more carbon out the back, and you'll just end up with a little bit messier action. This one's super clean. The chamber is super concentric is what I would say, and it's tight to the brass, and it's not letting very much come out the back of the action. So again, I might run an extra couple patches through there if you're feeling like it's pretty dirty, but this one's feeling awesome. So like, I'm going to call this one good. Again, if you follow this process a couple times through, the dirtiest of actions, you might have a really bad copper fouling barrel that's just holding copper. What I would recommend there is just letting the wipeout patch out do the work. Use the accelerator and do like maybe 4 or 5 patches, give it half an hour or an hour, come back and do it. I had one barrel that I just kind of shot 50 rounds through. It was a brand new barrel, shot 50 rounds through, and it shot really good in the beginning. By the end of the 50 rounds, I knew I was copper fouled. And I had an old cleaning process before, and that did not remove the copper. That gun started shooting extremely terrible, and I knew that it was the potential for the gun it was going to shoot really well, but I copper fouled it so bad, and my old cleaning process would not take the copper out. So that's when I actually switched. My buddy Glenn Demaray turned me on to Wipeout Patch Out, and this stuff works awesome. Again, it's not hard on your lungs or your nostrils. Working inside, it barely has any smell to it whatsoever, but it will remove the copper, especially when carbon's a little bit easier. The copper is what is hard to get out sometimes. So on to my bolt. I'm going to show you guys what I like to do here. When I first get a new bolt, I definitely fully take it apart, and I get most manufacturers send them out with some grease on the spring and on the firing pin and all that. I run it totally dry. I just don't like that stuff, especially in Montana. We're prone to get down to really cold temperatures, and the viscosity of that grease doesn't let that firing pin fall the same as it does when it's normal temperature out. So I remove all of it. So I run it totally dry. There's just 3 places that I run a little bit of grease, a very tiny little bit of grease. So I'm going to grab, this is actually Pro Shot grease. And what I do, let's see if you guys can see it up here. Okay, so I put a little tiny dab, just a tiny dab behind each lug, tiny little dab. And then on the caulking ramp, for where the firing pin, after you pull the trigger and the firing pin falls, and then you have to caulk it back up this caulking ramp, I put a tiny little bit there. Make sure you back these out, because these will push out all of the grease that you have in there. And then I just kind of touch it with my finger. I don't want it anywhere except for the back of the lug, and then on that caulking ramp, so I don't want it anywhere else. And this is what I do here. I slide the bolt in, careful not to touch anything else. I push hard forward, and then I pull back, and I just work it into those lugs. Okay, it's just, so when you go to raise the bolt after firing, it's just going to make that not rub. Especially, this is a titanium action. One little trick that I also do on the titaniums is I add a touch of gray anti-seize on the back of those lugs with the grease, a very, very small amount, but it makes that titanium action function a lot more like a steel action. And then after I work it into the lugs there, I just make sure that there's not anywhere else, because it will travel, it will want to work itself eventually back into your trigger. So I make sure that I don't have any excess that's just going to work its way back and maybe cause me a trigger failure. And yeah, that's great. Action is clean, its function is super smooth. So at this point, you're good to go. So if you guys have any questions, hit me up. That tip on the patches is really key. If you guys' fitment is not quite right, either move towards the corner or towards the center, make sure that's tight. It just helps it push that patch out into the grooves of the barrel to make sure that the solvent is working on all of that copper or carbon. So yeah, hit me with a comment, guys. Let me know if this is helpful and what else you want to hear. Super stoked to be able to help you guys with any of this type of information, and I appreciate you guys watching. Later.